Hey everybody, this is graphic designer Roberto Blake, and in today's video, I'm going to give advice to young designers. First of all, if you're new to the channel, I actually do graphic design videos every week, but I do a lot of other awesome content on the channel if you're into photography, Photoshop, video editing, or digital art, so make sure you're subscribed to get all of that going forward. So what advice do I have for young graphic designers getting their start in 2015? Well, first of all, if you're a young person, whether you're a teenager who's still in high school or somebody who's graduated and moving on to college, then I think it's great that you want to get into a creative industry where you get to do interesting things every day and potentially create value for people and, help them build their brand, sell their products, or promote their services. That's ultimately what a graphic designer does. So if you don't understand more about the industry, then there are a lot of books you should read. I'll have links to them in the description below. Also, you should consider checking out my recommended books for graphic designers video to learn a little bit more about the industry and what you'll be getting into. Now, one of the things that a lot of people confuse is maybe as a young person, you like drawing and you like artwork, and people are telling you to become a graphic designer. The thing is that you may not get to utilize those skills and a lot of your personal creativity as a graphic designer until much later in your career. So if you don't have the patience for that, it might be very difficult for you if you're more artistic to become a graphic designer. And I say that because while you need artistic and creative talent as a graphic designer, it ultimately doesn't become the priority in your work because graphic design is very heavily tied to advertising, marketing, and sales. So if you're not into that sort of thing and the commercialism that goes with that, then you might need to go in a different direction with your artistic career, and I will cover other videos on that. If you're thinking, well, I'll be a graphic designer so I can get into the gaming industry, again, it doesn't exactly work that way, so I will cover that in some of my future videos and give advice to that. But if you understand that being a graphic designer means you'll be doing logos, you'll be doing websites, you might be doing packaging, you might be doing album covers, posters, CD labels, shipping labels, that sort of thing, then you're on the right track. And I'm glad that you're going to YouTube and trying to learn as much of this as possible before you invest in your education. I do a whole other video on that to help you make up your mind whether college is the right fit for you. My advice is to find out as much about this industry and field as you possibly can and to try and talk to people who are working as graphic designers and pick their brain. I've done over 100 videos on the channel talking about graphic design and what it's actually like. There are other designers on YouTube who have shared their experience and to do, the same things but different information. Sean Barry is one of them, Karen Cavett, Steve Looney. There are a ton of people who have shared the experience of what it's like to be a graphic designer right here on YouTube, and you can access that information for free. Now, other things you should be doing is you should be learning software that you're going to use every day in this industry. Now, you probably already have heard of Photoshop and you know that the Adobe products are the standard in the industry. But as a young person, that might not be affordable for you. But I don't want you to get discouraged. There are tons of free graphic design software, and I've done videos on that before. So you should make sure you check those out. And just, I'm going to throw some out there. You can get GIMP, you can get Inkscape, you can get Scribus. There's a lot of stuff out there that's free. There are some free things from a company called Serif that you can check out. And I'm actually going to be doing some videos on their products because they are some more affordable, cheap solutions than the Adobe products. Corel is another affordable thing you can get. So, Corel Draw is still very popular in the industry. So I highly recommend that you explore programs that you can afford or that are free, develop some skills, and try to do basic projects in them. Try and do some logos, try and build some websites, try and develop some posters. And if you don't know what to do, then try doing some for a cause or a charity. That way you can use it in your portfolio. You might want to draw your favorite cartoon characters. You might want to draw your favorite pop star. But at the end of the day, somebody paying you and hiring you is probably not going to be interested in that. You should do personal work and things you care about and definitely put them in your online portfolio. But ultimately, when you pitch to clients, even if you're going to do personal work, it should be personal work that makes sense. Try and find things that you can work on that would be the type of work you want to be hired and paid to do. That's going to be essential. Also, start freelancing as early as you can. Check out websites like guru.com, People Per Hour, Elance, freelancer.com. Try and get as much work under your belt as you can. Build a client portfolio, have some real references so that when you try to go into the job market, that you're not necessarily going in there empty-handed, whether you have a degree or not. It's like there are some things where people filter based on degrees, but more than anything, people care about the quality of your work, what's in your portfolio, and your personality. Develop, good presentation and communication skills. I can't stress that enough. And really just try and think about developing a personal brand. It's hard to go into the job market today without something to be competitive. You're not just going to be going up against other people your age that are students. You might be going up against somebody who has 5 years of experience and a degree, or 5 years of experience and a tremendous portfolio because maybe they moved to a new city, or maybe the company they work for went under. All these things happen, and the mistake that a lot of people make when they get out of college or they go into the job market is they think that the job market is just people who look and sound like them. They don't realize that there are people in the job market competing for the same job and for the same pay sometimes that might have 10 or 20 years of experience on them, and you have to find a way to compete. A personal brand can help you do that. It can give you an edge. It could be the thing that lands you the interview in the first place without you even putting in an application. So, just keep that in mind. I did a tremendous interview about personal branding with Chris Do and Jose Cavalier over at The School Live. I'm just going to cue that up so you can go to that. And, we talked about the benefits of a personal brand, and that's about building relationships. And relationships are usually sometimes what get you an opportunity and what get you hired. People hire and recommend people that they know and that they like and have created some kind of value for them and built up trust in a relationship. So don't underestimate the importance of that and think that you can just do what your parents did to be successful, go to college and then apply to jobs and get one, because what got you here won't get you there. There's a book you should definitely check out reading. It's more of a business book, but I recommend it to anybody because what made someone successful 10 years ago, prior to Facebook, prior to smartphones, those things are not going to make somebody successful today, or at least not necessarily. So just kind of keep that in mind. The reason I do these videos, I put out new content almost on a daily basis, and I'll even go back and double down on a video that I did a year ago and address the same topic again, is because we live in an age where everything is changing rapidly. And companies and brands are changing all the time. Apple went from just making personal computers to jumping in and revolutionizing the music industry. Then they revolutionized the smartphone industry and then tablets. And they're about to do the same thing with the Apple Watch. So don't think that you can sit on your laurels and something that was relevant 5 years ago that someone is telling you will absolutely make sense today just because it worked out for them. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you still have questions as a young graphic designer, make sure you leave me your questions in the comment section below. Also, keep in mind that on the channel, since I've done over 100 different graphic design videos, plus tutorials on top of that, that some of your questions might be answered by another video of mine, so make sure you're subscribed to get everything. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today.